Welcome back to the 2022 Men's College Basketball Conference Championship predictions, and let's get right into it with the Big 12. And let's start with the lone first-round game as a result of Oklahoma State not being eligible for this tournament or any postseason tournament. We've got West Virginia against a formerly bubble team K-State. They're a far fetch from that, and I think West Virginia is a very solid team. They went just about undefeated out of conference. Granted, we're a long way from that, but this is a very solid West Virginia team. They had two long losing streaks, but they did just rebound with a win over a TCU team that was looking to improve their seed. I think that they can go into this game against K-State and prove something and win it and even up their record at 500 in order to face Kansas in the second round. Then we've got Texas against TCU, and I was really not sure who to pick in this game. Texas has been very hot as of recently. Although they've lost two straight, they played Kansas very close going to overtime on the road. And TCU, another team that's played Kansas very close, including a win as part of their doubleheader at home against Kansas. But that being said, I'm going to have to take Texas here as they just looked dominant against TCU that last time out there. They have both wins over TCU this year, and I realized that this is a newfound TCU team, but the lone loss in those two wins against Texas Tech and Kansas, before those two, they lost to Texas, so I'm going to take Texas here, but I could see this game going either way. Then we've got Kansas against West Virginia, and I see it ending for the Mountaineers here. Very solid Kansas team. They've been very solid in conference, although that game at TCU was a bit of a head-scratcher, but you have to realize that TCU was pretty much playing for their season in that one. And although West Virginia will be playing for their season in this one, if we just look at the results between these two teams, the games weren't particularly close, even the one at West Virginia, so I'm taking Kansas here. Baylor Oklahoma, I'm going to take Baylor. They've been very hot as of late, and they were able to beat Oklahoma both times in the regular season. It wasn't really close. I understand that Oklahoma will be playing for their playoff lives here, and Oklahoma has won 3 straight, but that has been over the lowly competition in the Big 12. I think they do not match up to Baylor well. I'm taking Baylor right here. We've got a very intriguing matchup, Texas Tech against Iowa State. And remember when Iowa State was one of the best teams in the nation after about a 10-0 start? Well, we're a long way from there. They've lost 2 straight to Oklahoma State in an ugly one, and then at Baylor, which they battled back, but they really got down early. I don't think that they match up to Texas Tech well. Texas Tech team that has been slumping over these past couple weeks, but I'm still going to take Texas Tech to bounce back against Iowa State after their loss at Oklahoma State. And then semifinals, we've got Texas against Kansas, and although Texas did take Kansas to overtime, I think that that was their best chance to win. I think that Kansas is far too loaded for this Texas team. Texas is playing a lot of one-on-one basketball. Even though they had home court advantage on Saturday, Agbaji just could not get it going. I think that Kansas will rebound in a better showing here, win by 10 to 15 points to get easily into the finals. And then I'm going to have the upset here. And although it is 3-2, the way Texas Tech has been playing, I just can't expect them to win against Baylor, but I'm going to take it to happen, as Baylor just historically has not been great in these Big 12 tournaments. Perhaps they're saving up for the NCAA tournament, but for some reason, Baylor just has not performed in these Big 12 tournaments, and I see that continuing here against a very good Texas Tech team that might be looking for revenge after they've gotten cold over the past 3 games here. One caveat I will say about this is if I had to pick the NCAA tournament right now, perhaps from my bracketology predictions, there's a 100% chance that I have Baylor going further than Texas Tech, but just for these Big 12 championships, which do not always tend to be the teams that do best in March Madness, I'm going to take Texas Tech here. And then to continue the magical run, I'm going to take Texas Tech to win the Big 12 title. Assuming that they can get here, I think that they will win. But either way, if Baylor does, which I wouldn't be too broken up about, I think Baylor is the hotter team than Kansas here. And either way, I think that that team would win to give themselves the auto bid out of the Big 12. Please be sure to comment your Big 12 tournament predictions below. Thank you for watching.